Oh my god. I think I have this. I wonder what the audio is going to sound like on this. Let me see something. Hopefully the audio wasn't too far off. I had it. I had my phone plugged into the aux jack. I just got done watching Breaking Bad season 4, episode 1, Box Cutter. This one was I think this was the first of its kind. The first time I've seen an episode like this in this series. It's a conclusion and a setup. I think I probably did see something similar to this, but this one just happens to be a conclusion and a setup episode. So, excuse me, I'm a little tired, but so it's a conclusion of Walter's or Mr. White's grand plan to save Pinkman for some reason. You know, the amount of trouble that he's getting into and the amount of effort he has to put up to keep Pinkman safe, I think is too much. That's just my opinion. I feel like it's just too much. It's too much work to keep this dude alive. And I'm trying to see what I could draw from this episode. I'm not going to call it a bad episode because it wasn't a bad episode. Maybe it's something that's going on in my personal life that's holding me back from fully getting immersed into the episode. But I have to be honest. So there's the characters that show up in this episode. Junior makes an appearance. Oh, okay. So I could talk about this. So okay, first we get all the characters out. So Junior makes an appearance, a few lines, no big deal. Mrs. White's in there, Mr. White, Pinkman, the El Jefe, the big boss, the hitman, and the bodyguard. Both those guys are in there. And I want to talk now about the in-laws. Now they're in here. Now, I don't want to say. Well, I don't want to do that. Get it all out. I feel like their relationship has took a turn for the worse. Now, it's beginning to be a little bit much. It's beginning to be a little bit much for the wife because she's doing everything. She's carrying all the weight, and it's starting to weigh on her. They're showing that now with the history of the characters that. What I've seen in the past from these characters in this series, it's heading towards something. They're making a big deal out of it. So I'm assuming she's gonna lose her marbles at some point down the line. I just wonder how and in what way. Now I think it would be cool if let me stop speculating. But I think it would be cool. I think it would be cool if somebody tries to invade the house and she has to defend them. That'd be cool to see. But I don't think that's gonna happen. But anyway, yeah, so they're showing that home relationship, the amount of responsibility that she's added to herself is starting to weigh on her. They're showing that. They're showing the fact that Mr. White is basically still paying all his medical bills. While that's going on, you also you're also on the edge of your seat in a way. You're also like on edge because you're waiting to see the outcome. You're waiting to see what's going to happen to Mr. White and Pinkman. They're just sitting in the lab, just waiting. Guy comes in, slits one of the, I guess he'd be considered the bodyguard, slits his throat. Not the hitman, but the bodyguard. I wish I knew the characters' names, but I'm sorry I didn't pay that much attention. Slits his throat with a box cutter, hence the name Box Cutter. They didn't really think that one out, I guess. Pretty strange scene. He doesn't say anything throughout the whole. Yeah, I'm really tired. He doesn't say anything throughout the whole sequence of the of before the killing. So it's like he's getting undressed. He's getting dressed in protective stuff. Slits the guy's throat in Hollywood fashion. Squirt, 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 all over everybody. Guy body drops. He goes back over, washes some of the blood off. Takes off the whole all the protective stuff he put on the side, walks up the steps, and he goes, cook. But all the while that he's not saying anything, Mr. White is that's what makes him such a good actor, man. Because the actor who's playing Mr. White, I mean, he's bringing this emotion out. I mean, he's acting tough. He's trying to reason, and then he's pleading. He's doing all this stuff, and you can hear his voice change and the way and his demeanor. You can hear everything change throughout the whole. Throughout the whole. He's basically pleading the whole time. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. But he's acting tough at the beginning, and then he's trying to reason, and then he just turns straight begging. So you see that, which, yeah, it's pretty good. Trying to think what else happens. What else happens in there? Oh, I like the change in Pinkman. Well, oh man, I should have chosen my words a little bit better. Not necessarily I like the fact that he openly shot somebody. I don't like that. But his character's added a level of complexity has been added to him because he's basically high when he commits the murder. Now, his stuff starts to wear off, and he kind of like snaps back in, and he's like, hey, I'm not dead, so let's keep living life, which I would agree with that. Like, hey, whatever, I came this close to dying, but not gonna happen now, so keep living, right? Like, I like that. I like that development. I like that story. I like his story arc. Now Mrs. White, she confused me a little bit. So Mr. White's gone missing. She's panicking, and she decides, because Mr. White, for some reason, I forget why, but he left his vehicle in her driveway. She's like, no, I'm not doing that. So she drives it like 3 blocks away and parks it in another cul-de-sac. And it's like, why do you do that? And she makes an excuse. She says, well, I did it because I didn't want Junior to see it and then start asking questions. Which, actually, I was kind of upset when I seen her move, but now that I think about it, the explanation makes so much sense. I'm like, she's proven to be a really down broad. More and more I watch her. Like, I know what a down broad is, like I'm about the life or something. I'm not about the life, man. I just like the way her characters turned out so far. See what else was in this episode. I think if I could spend more time on the in-laws, I would. Want to try to break down that whole scene. So he's still feeling defeated. He's still feeling defeated. Machismo. He still wants to be a man, but your wife has to pull your pants down, lift you up, help lift you up, and put a bedpan underneath you while you take a shit, and then come back and wipe your ass. Oh my God, man. Going from being an able-bodied man to that, and the reason you're there is because you almost died. Oh, that's got to be a tough pill to swallow, man. It's got to be a tough pill to swallow. And now they're showing that actress is bringing out the I'm stressed, which is inevitable in that situation because she's dealing with everything. There's nothing that she hasn't, that she can't do. I mean, that she's not tasked with doing in that house. She has to do everything. I'm interested to see where that goes. Of course, Junior comes in. He only makes a couple of sounds. Oh, but I should talk about Mrs. White and her great acting skills. So she had to act she had to act while acting, which is really tough to do. So she had to act like she had to act out of the character she's playing. So she had to act super distraught because she's trying to figure out where Mr. White is at this time. And she knows where she lives, so he goes to the condo. Of course, she doesn't have a key. Calls the locksmith. Locksmith's like, hey, man, I can't open the door without any proof of this being your residence. Blah, 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 blah. She has the kid. She's making up a story. Somebody robbed me. I don't have any medication. Oh, my God. Now the baby's crying, and the guy looks really uncomfortable, but he still looks like, I don't care. Like, I can't. It's nothing I can do. I can't break the law. But he winds up opening the door for her, and just like, fuck, and just gets out of there. It's like, I'm gone. Don't even worry about it. So let me think. He shouldn't even made a big deal of it. You should have seen her and just did it. But you never know. It's that's a law for a reason, because it doesn't matter if she has a child and she's out of her medication and she's distraught. I need to know that you live here before I open this up, because you could be doing anything. You could be on some foul stuff, which I thought was hilarious. Well, I don't know why I said I think it's hilarious. I really am low on sleep. It's not hilarious. I just liked this episode. Is that fair enough?